Good morning, dear students. In the last class, electric field intensity due to varying magnetic field was completed. Some few examples we are going to discuss related to them. Okay. Example problem. There is a magnetic field, varying magnetic field, B equal to B naught TQ, and its radius is R. What is the electric field intensity at a distance of R by 2 from the center? So question is, find electric field intensity at a small r equal to capital R by 2, small r equal to capital R, small r equal to 2r. At the 3 points, we want to get electric field intensity. How can we get it? Already know well. Here, first one, it is a inside point. What is that? Inside point. For inside point, what is the electric field intensity formula? Small r by 2 mod of dB by dt. In the last class, we derived it. How much we will get it? R by 4 into dB by dt what here? B naught into 3t square. B naught into 3t square, that is the dB by dt value. So what is the unit? Volt per meter. Volt per meter. Okay. So over. Come to the second case. It is what? Smaller and capital both are equal. Then what we are getting? EB equal to R by 2 into dB by dt. What is R by 2 mean? R by 2 only, that's value into 3B naught T square. Volt per meter over. And what about the electric field intensity point C? This is A, sorry, outside point. It is outside point. When point is outside, what is the electric field intensity formula? R square by 2R into mod of dB by dt. Mod of dB by dt. R value what here? 2R. It is point C at the point B at the A. Yesterday already we derived it. So by that I am going through the formula what we derived yesterday. So I am applying that formula directly such that the answer what we are getting is how much? 4R square by 2R into 3B naught T square. We are getting what here? 2R, 6 R B naught T square volt per meter. That is the electric field intensity value at point R equal to 2R. At the point R equal to 2R. Okay. So with that, this problem over. Next problem. There is a varying magnetic field in the circular region. That induction is B equal to B naught T. That's induction what here? B naught T. That is variable B. Okay, that is B is varying with respect to time. In that field, we are placing an electron here. From the center, electron placed here at a distance of R by 3R, at a distance of 3R by 4. and electron is placed there. Now the question is, what is its acceleration? What is its acceleration? Find the acceleration of an electron. Okay. How can we find it? Simple. First, electron is inside the field. So at what distance? 3r by 4. There we want to get electric field intensity first. At inside point, what is the electric field intensity formula? This is. So electric field inside point equal to r by 2 into dB by dt. R by 2 into dB by dt. What is R value? 3R by 4. We are getting 3R by 8 into. What is the dB by dt? V naught. So we got that electric field intensity. After applying that electric field intensity at C, what is the direction of electric field intensity there? As that B increasing, to oppose that another field induced in opposite direction, such that current moves in anti-clockwise direction. Such that electric field is acting tangentially in this way. Their electric field acting tangentially in that way. Then what about the force direction on electron? Opposite to electric field, because electron is a negative charge. By that, force on electron equal to minus E. Already you studied well about it. What is the electric field intensity here? Minus 3R B naught by 8. But according to Newton's second law, force direction what here? It should be in clockwise direction. That is minus symbol meaning. Minus symbol meaning what here? Clockwise. Okay, magnitude of force equal to 3R B naught by 8. Then if you have written this as MA, 3R B naught by 8. Then A equal to 3R B naught by 8 M. That is the acceleration of an electron in clockwise direction. In clockwise direction. Okay. So with that problem over. Next example problem. There is a magnetic field in the circular region, that is a varying magnetic field of induction B naught T. What is the induction value? B naught T. Okay. In that region, I have placed a circular coil, charged coil. Okay, it is charged one with positive charge. The charge on the coil is Q. It is a coil. Now the question is, what is this coil placed here? What is the angular acceleration of coil? Because once if you place this coil here, it is going to rotate. The coil will rotate about its center with some acceleration. What is that angular acceleration of coil? Okay. So question is find angular acceleration of the charged coil. Find angular acceleration of the charged coil that we want to find here. How to find that? Simple. First, the radius of this coil is actually they given as r by 2. What is the radius of the coil here? R by 2. Then what is electrical intensity on the ring? If you consider a point on the rim of the coil, what is the electrical intensity here? Electrical intensity there is R by 2 into mod of dt by dt. What about R by 2 value? R by 4 into B naught. R by 4 into B naught. Okay. So that is the electrical intensity inside point. Now, I would like to get the torque acting on that coil. Then only we can get what? Angular acceleration. For that, I am taking small elemental portion of this one, whichever enclosed the charge of dq. What is the force direction over that? B increasing. So electrical intensity in this direction. Then force direction also in this way. What is the force direction there? Parallel to E bar. By that we are getting this. Okay, after getting the force on the small elemental portion, what is the force acting or the torque acting on this element? The torque acting on that element equal to force into perpendicular distance, right? Force into perpendicular distance. R by 2. Force into perpendicular distance. What is the force value? E dq into R by 2. What is the E value obtained here? R by 4 B naught into dq into R by 2. So totally R square by 8 B naught dq. That is the torque acting on the small elemental portion of the coil. But we want to get torque acting on the whole coil. For that I am integrating this. Then total torque equal to R square B naught by 8 integral dq. What is integral dq? Nothing but total charge of the coil, that is q only. So we are getting what here? R square B naught by 8 into q. R square B naught by 8 into q. Okay. So it is a torque acting on this coil. Total torque. Torque formula what? I alpha. So I into alpha equal to R square B naught q by 8. Then alpha value we need to write here. What we need to write here? Alpha value. So from this, alpha equal to R square B naught q by 8I. What is the moment of inertia of a circular coil about its perpendicular coil? Mr square, right? If its mass is m, radius is r by 2, then we are going to write it as I value, that is m r by 2 whole square. So if you solve that, we can get the answer. So this is the alpha value. Okay. So that is the alpha value. So the problem is over. The question what they asked, we determined here. Angular acceleration of the coin was determined. Okay, it is mr square formula. M is mass of the coin, r by 2 is the radius of the coin. Okay, so with that, the problem over. Please note down this. Next, one more problem we are going to see. The next example, see here, there is a varying magnetic field. The radius of this circular region is capital. In that field, we are placing actual B value is B naught into T. B value what here? B naught into T. Okay. Now, in this circular region, I am placing a rod. It is a rod of length 2L. What is the length of the rod here? 2L. And this point is P, this point is Q. Now the question is, find the potential difference between P and Q. Potential difference between P and Q that we want to get here. How can we get it? Here, this is a circular region of field in which we place the rod here of length 2L. Okay, from the center, the distance of this rod, if you let it as a D, and it is what? Radius. Okay, then it is L. Then D value what here? Root over R square minus L square. Right? And in P and Q, which is at high potential here mean, simply we can say that from the direction of electric field intensity. What is the electric field intensity here? Anti-clockwise, such that E direction like this. So electric field direction is always from high potential to low potential. By that here, Q is set by at high potential than P. Okay, electric field direction what here? Anti-clockwise. By that Q is at high potential, P is at a low potential. Okay, so here VQ greater than VP. VQ greater than VP. For example, if the electric field intensity direction is clockwise, then VP greater than VQ. Then VP greater than VQ. But here anti-clockwise means Q is at high potential than P. Okay? Like that we can confirm that high potential point. Okay? So with that this is over. Next, come here. For getting the potential difference here from this center, I am taking small elemental rod, small element of length dx at the distance of x. What about the electric field intensity direction actually here? Tangential x. This is the electric field intensity direction here, right? If this angle is a theta, it is a 90 minus theta and it is a theta. Okay, it is a 90 minus theta then it is 90 d is theta. What about the small element here? The element having the length of dx. What is the length of the element? Dx. What is the angle between E bar and the element direction? Element direction is this. The direction between them is, the angle between them is theta. Okay, in the last class I told you, what is the relation between potential difference and intensity? That is a dV equal to E dr, E bar dot dr bar, right? Integral E bar dot dr bar. Or you may write it as potential difference across small element, dV means here. Okay, how can we write its value? Integral E bar dot dr bar, E into dr into cos theta, E into dr into cos theta. What is electric field intensity at this point here? This is at what distance here? This is actually at a distance of x here. Then it is a d. So the electric field intensity here is E into E value what here? R by 2 into. So this distance value dB by dt. R by 2 into dB by dt into dr cos theta. Into dr cos theta. This distance if you let it as small r, we don't know this value actually. That value if you let it as small r, then the intensity value what here at a distance of r by 2 into dB by dt, that you know well. So here r cos theta mean what here d. In this right angle triangle, cos theta what here d by r, d equal to r cos theta. Such that what we are getting here, integral d by 2 into dB by dt what here, b naught into dr only remaining, dr only remaining. So what about dx? Sorry, dr. This dr means dx here. Dr means what here? Dx. Sorry. Because here the element length is dx. What we are getting then? B naught d by 2 integral. What are the limits for x? For covering the total rod, the limits of x are minus L2 plus L. So minus L2 plus L into dx. So finally we are getting what? B naught d by 2 into 2L. 2 cancel. We are getting B naught dl. B naught dl. So that is the induced EMF across the rod. For total rod we are getting induced EMF across this rod is what here? Vp, that is Vq minus Vp equal to B naught dl. But what is the d value? This is, so we are getting what here? B naught into L into root of r square minus L square. That is the answer for this problem. Very simple. We took that potential difference formula, integral E bar dot dr bar, E equal to integral E dr cos theta. E value what at this distance? We don't know that distance. I am written as small r, such that r by 2 dB by dt into dr means dx. So dx cos theta. Because E bar and dx are inclined at what angle? Theta. It is dx. Dx and E bar inclined at what angle? Theta. So by solving that, the answer we are getting like this. There is second method for this. Simply in this diagram, a rod is placed here at a distance of d here. Then for getting the potential difference across the rod, you join this point to ends of the rods. Then the area under this triangle is giving you flux. What is giving you? Flux. So first of all, what is the area here? Not flux. First you calculate area and that you multiply it with B. Then you can get flux. So area value half into base into height. So we are getting L. Right? It is L. Then flux value what here? BA. B value what here? B naught D into LD. Then induced EMF what? D pi by dt. How much? B naught LD. That means B naught L into root over R square minus L square. That is the second method and easy method. Second method and easy method. Okay. With that, this problem over. Now, I am going to give you one problem as homework. After that, I am going to discussing transformer. One thing, eddy current is a very simple topic and a theory part method is actually that you try to study that. If you will get any doubt, you contact me. Eddy currents is a very simple topic. Only transformer actually I have added for exam syllabus because due to small amount of syllabus, it became tough to frame the question paper. By that I have added transformer whichever in the AC chapter, but actually that's belonging to EMI only, transformer. Once upon a time it was presented in EMI, but now present it is in AC. Normally transformer completely working on mutual induction principle. So mutual induction means EMI. So by that that's actually belonging to this chapter. So by that there is no any difficulty for reading that. You can easily understand that. I am going to explain that. You have that for exam syllabus. Try to do the problems of transformer also. That topic you have in AC chapter, alternating current chapter. Okay, do remember it well. So let's see the transformer form problem. Topic. Transformer, if it is over, weekend syllabus over. Actually, induced AC generator is very simple. That already I explained you. AC generator also theoretical part. For that only one formula you will get that I am going to tell you. About AC generator, already I told you at the starting of this chapter. According to Faraday law, the EMF will induce whenever theta is varying. You know well, EMF equal to minus d a n d by dt of cos theta. Whenever theta is varying, theta means omega d here. As this value varying, EMF will induce, right? So by that induced EMF formula, what we are getting? B A N omega sin omega t. It is in what form? E naught sin omega t, where E naught is called maximum EMF. That formula B A N omega. Do remember it well. And corresponding EMF, corresponding graph we are getting like this. Already I told you this. Alternating EMF. Already this was explained well. By that I am not going into deep discussion on this. Not necessary even. Just by knowing this formula, you can solve the problems. If they will ask you problems on AC generator, they will ask you the problems only on the basis of this points. Maximum EMF formula, do remember it well. With that AC generator over. Okay. No need to worry about that. Simply just by knowing this much, you can face that problems. Okay, you can easily attempt that problems in the exam. No worry about it. Okay. Next, eddy current definition I am going to give you. Let's see that definition. Here there is a magnetic field. Into that magnetic field, a metal stud is sending now it is a metal stud, a thick metal plate, so called metal stud. Once this metal stud allowed to enter into the field, what happened? Already in the induced EMF case, I explained you induced EMF when coil entering into the field and leaving the field. That concept here. So once it is entering into the field here, what happened? Field increasing, inward field increasing. Why? Because it is going inward. So whenever inward field increasing here, what happened? A field has to be induced in opposite direction to oppose that growing B, or that increasing B has opposed by induced B. That induced B is in outward direction here, such that current induced in anti-clockwise direction. That current whatever induced here is actually opposing the motion of the stud, right? Actually induced current opposing the motion of the stud. Due to that induction of current, it having resistance, by that there will be production of heat energy. There will be production of heat energy due to production of more induced current. Due to production of more induced current. That current is called eddy current, because the current whatever induced here is in whirlpool, that is eddy shape, that is in curled shape. Whenever it is in curled shape, the current is in the shape of eddies. Due to that reason, this current is called eddy current. This causes loss of energy. In the form of heat. So by that eddy current is normally causes the loss of energy. By that the motion of this stud has opposed, right? According to Lenz's law, what you studied. And this eddy current sometimes it is wanted one, sometimes unwanted. And that's applications I provided you in the book. You try to study that general application, no in detailed explanation about that. Where and where eddy current is useful for us, that only they were given. Simply you study that. And even while it is going out, what happened there? Area decreasing inside the field. That means inward field decreasing. Then field induced in inward direction here. Then current induced in clockwise direction. Induced current. Or eddy current. That current is called eddy current. So if you want to reduce this loss of energy, we need to have less amount of induced currents, right? For that, instead of using this type of metal stud, if you have used a lamination of metal sheets like this, it is a lamination of metal sheets. Metal plates are attached to each other. All they were laminated well with insulated material between them. There is no connection between two adjacent metals here. Such kind of metal stud if you have used, that is not a single metal stud, it is a laminated metal stud. Plate to plate we separated. By that here area separate available less here. By that current whatever generated will be very less amount of eddy currents are produced on each surface of these plates. By that, instead of using single metal stud, better to use laminated metal core or metal stud for reducing the effect of eddy currents. If the eddy current production is reduced, loss of energy will reduce. What will reduce? Loss of energy will reduce. So by that, do remember, how can we reduce eddy current effect mean? By using laminated metal plates as a stud. Instead of using single metal stud, if you are using this kind of laminated metal stud. By that eddy currents are reduced and loss of energy will reduce. Okay. So, and its uses where and where we are using, they have given in the material. Please follow them once. Okay. And last topic of this weekend exam, that is transformer. Okay. So, see here. A transformer nothing but the device, actually eddy current refers to what? The current induced in a metal stud when the flux linked with the stud is changing. With the stud changing. Okay, that is the definition of eddy current. Do remember it well. And uses of eddy current, you read it in the book. Okay, theory part that is. Now see this transformer. A transformer nothing but the device which converts high voltage of low current into low voltage of high current. And vice versa at a constant power, at a same power or constant power and frequency. So listen. The device which converts high voltage of low current. Actually, at our streets, in the streets, at corners, we can observe the transformers. Those are doing what? Those are doing low voltage has to be converted into high voltage because due to transmission of power from long distance from thermal project to our place, some energy has to be lost. At that moment, it's needed to increase that voltage level, okay, for making that voltage level to 240 volts in India. Actually, in India, what is the power rating in India? The power rating is, do remember, 240 volts at the 50 Hz frequency. It is an Indian power rating. That means in India, the power house supply power having that much of voltage level and that much of frequency. Okay, that means 50 Hz means 50 number of cycles are coming into our home per second. One cycle means this is crust and trough is called a cycle of AC. What we call it a cycle of AC. Positive half cycle, negative half cycle. This is called cycle of AC. Like that 50 cycles are entering into our home per second. And what is the voltage level? 240 volts. That is called alternating current rating. Anyhow, but in our US, that voltage level is 120 and 100 Hz. So by that only appliances, those who are manufactured for America are not going to work here. For working of them, we need adapter here. Okay, we need a adapter. Okay, now come here. The device which converts high voltage of low current into low voltage of high current. For example, in our home, there is a bed lamp. Bed lamp needed just of 2, maybe 10 volts. But I am getting 240 volts here. At that moment, what we need to do? We have to reduce the voltage level from high value to low value. That is doing by transformer called step down transformer. So normally transformers are doing what is high voltage converted into low voltage as well as low voltage converted into high voltage. But whenever voltage is small, current value high. Okay. And whenever voltage is high, current value low. What about current value? Low. Okay, do remember. Why? Because here constant power it is giving in the input and output. For example, if you have a transformer, it is block diagram. If I given the power of input Pi, output power also we are getting P naught. Input power, output power. Normally input circuit is called primary circuits. It is called a secondary circuit. It is working on the principle of mutual induction. You know well, it is a principle. In the mutual induction, there are two coils, primary and secondary. Those are this. Anyhow, in the primary circuit, what is the power value mean? Power formula what? Electrical power, voltage into current. Voltage into current. So by that, primary voltage into primary current and output voltage, secondary voltage into secondary current. Secondary voltage into secondary current. But I told you the transformer almost is going to working at constant power, but on maximum 100% power is not going to be equal. There is some loss of power inside of this. By that, no transformer having 100% efficiency. Why? Because if output power is equal to input power, then efficiency equal to 100% because output power by input power into 100, you know well, then we are getting 100%. But it is not possible. At least not even 0.5% or 1 or 2% of power going to wasted out while it come out to the outputs. By that, eta value normally lies between 0.95 to 0.99. The type of transformers only we manufacture till now. Okay. So this is the actually efficiency of a transformer value, whichever possible in reality. But it is a hypothetical one. It is just a ideal transformer efficiency. It is called ideal transformer efficiency. So output power value what here? Eta equal to Vs into Is by Vp into Ip into 100. You may write like this also. What is that? That is the efficiency. Okay, do remember? Whenever power is said to be equal, as I said in the ideal transformer, in ideal transformer, power in the output input constant, that value P, V into I constants, then V inversely proportional to I. By that only, whenever voltage is high, current value less, and whenever voltage is less, current value will be high. Okay, do remember it well. That's only due to that reason only we written the definition of transformer like this. Definition of transformer like that we define. As I wrote in the definition, it's going to working at constant power as well as frequency. That means whatever the frequency of input AC, same frequency we are having for output also. So do remember it. V inversely proportional to I here. Next, I would like to write down in actually output power voltage value in the secondary circuit and voltage value in the primary circuits. You know one thing, in the transformer normally there is a coil like this. It is a metal stud, laminated metal core. What we call it a laminated metal core. What I said in the eddy currents topic. These are the metal plates laminated well with insulating material. It is a laminated core. Okay, made up with soft iron plates. Soft iron plates are attached or affixed with insulated material. Okay, and here a coil has wounded in the input. This is called primary coil. For this one we are giving input voltage. Okay, and here there is a coil here called secondary coil. Maybe number of times are more here. And this is called a secondary coil, and the output is taking across this and we are giving the input across this. The number of turns here are NP, number of turns are NS. Number of turns are NS. But the output what we are getting here giving to the load resistance, it is called load. Load means what? The circuit which are behind this. That resistance is the load for this. If you have opened a TV circuit, the power what we given to the TV, first of all it will go to where? Transformer. So after that, the transformer accordingly modifies that voltage level and it will give the backside circuit. That circuit resistance is the load for this transformer. That's the meaning of that. Okay, do remember. So it is called a load. For that load we are giving the output. And you are seeing here clearly. Here NP less than NS. Whenever primary turns are less than secondary turns, that transformer is called step-up transformer. Step-up transformer, what it does? It increases the voltage such that input voltage is less than output voltage. Input voltage is less than output voltage. Similarly, for example, if number of turns are greater than in the inputs, That is called step down. For example, in our home, bed lamp is there. In that lamp, which transformer we are using? Step down. Because we need to reduce the voltage level from 240 to some 10 volts. 240 to 10 down. Step down. Okay. But whereas if you go for factories, in the factories, heavy machineries are running. Heavy machines. For running them, we need some thousands of volts, 2000, 3000 volts. There we are using step-up transformers. There we are using step-up transformers. Okay. So step up. That means the transformers are converting low voltage into high voltage. Low voltage into high voltage. Okay. So in this one, Vp greater than Vs. And I would like to write down that Vp and Vs relation here. According to Faraday's second law, induced EMF formula what? d phi by dt for N turns. So if you apply that formula for primary circuit here, what we are getting? Vp equal to minus Np into d phi by dt. What is the use of the soft iron core? The flux whatever induced here due to variation of variable current, it is alternating current. Due to that flux induced here, that flux will go through the soft iron material and completely linked with this. So it is acting as a medium without any loss of lines, magnetic lines. All the lines should go to linked with the secondary coil. For linking like that, we have used a medium called core, soft iron core, laminated core. Why do we use that laminated core? Because to reduce eddy current. To reduce eddy currents, we are using this. Okay, anyhow. What is the Vp value obtained according to this formula minus Np into that? What about Vs? Minus Ns into d phi by dt. The flux in what way it is varying in the primary coil. In the same way, it is varying in the secondary coil because it completely linked with this due to this medium. By that, d pi by dt value will be same for primary as well as for secondary. By that I wrote like that. Now, Vp by Vs equal to what here? Np by Ns. So, how the potential related with the number of turns mean? Directly. And how can you correlate Vp by potential with current? Is by Ip. Because V is inversely proportional to I. V inversely proportional to I. Such that finally the result among V and I. V directly proportional to N, inversely proportional to I. Do remember this formula or relation, very important relation is. Total problems of transformer we can solve with this relation. So do remember it well. Afterwards, what about actually in this one, Ns by Np is called node. Ns by Np is called transformer ratio. What we call it? Transformer ratio. So in the problems, whenever and wherever you have seen the transformer ratio word, that's mean number of turns in secondary coil by number of turns in the primary coil. Do remember it well. It is called transformer ratio or turns ratio also. Also call it as turns ratio. Transformer ratio only. Do remember it well. And these are the most important formulae. And efficiency formula what I revealed you. And for an ideal transformer only efficiency 100%. For reality, in the real transformers, the efficiency value varying from 0.95 to 0.99. These are the points to be remembered regarding this transformer. It is a block diagram and it is a definition. The device which converts high voltage of low current into low voltage of high current and vice versa at constant power and frequency. At constant power and frequency. Transformers are two types. Main, this is very important point. Step up and step down. Step up transformers we are using in the factories for getting more voltage. And step down transformers we are using in the home appliances like TV and monitor of computers. Okay. So anyhow, with this completely this weekend syllabus completed. You try to do the problems well of this transformer also. Okay. Very easy problems. You can do easily with this formula list. Okay. So I am going to stop this class. Actually with this one, this session is over. Thank you so much.